Thank you for having me to this wonderful conference. I am so excited to be here with you. Today, I'm going to talk about the citizens and government engagement through an open source governance. I have tweeted the URL of this slide, so you can see the slide later by searching my Twitter account. I'm Hal Seki, a founder of Code for Japan. I'm also working for the Japanese government as an executive advisor for CIO of Cabinet Secretariat, and also working for the several cities as a kind of digital transformation advisor. Let me start from my talk from my personal history. Does someone know this machine? This is a personal computer called NSX2. The first computer I learned a programming language. I think I was 13 years old, I think. My father bought me this cool device to me as a birthday gift. Actually, I had asked him to buy a Nintendo entertainment system, but he bought this and said to me, "Hey, look, if you have a Nintendo entertainment system, you need to buy new cartridge in order to play new games. However, in the case of this machine, you can create as many games as you want by yourself. You know, I've been totally talked into it. But anyway, I jumped into coding world. Then I created this kind of game, and with this machine, and my father also brought me with the magazine. My father also brought to me. It was it was a lot more shabby than Mario Brothers. So the game entertained my friends and my families, also entertained myself. I found creating something is a lot more excited than just buying something. After many things happened, I started working at a startup, and that company was acquired by Yahoo Japan later. I was enjoying working as an IT engineer until I faced a big event. It is a big earthquake occurred in 2011. Until then, I didn't think that I would commit to do something to solve social issues. The turning point was a huge earthquake that happened in March 2011. I was a software engineer working for the startup acquired Yahoo Japan, as I said earlier, with friends, but with friends of open source community. I started a crowdsourced information sharing platforms called Shinsai Info. Now you can see the numbers in the circle on the map. People collected the information from various news sources and mapped them into the digital map so that people know where they can get waters or supplies and electrical powers. So such kind of things will help the people. And the map was used by a very large number of people, more than 200 people helped us with coding software or collecting the data. Then one question arose in my mind. Does technology really make people happier? I've always loved the internet, and I've been thinking my mission is to utilize technologies to create a variety of tools and services for making the world a better place. However, when I went around to the several areas after the disaster, nobody knows the Shinsai Info, that website. And it seems to me that there was not much things I could help using my skills at that time. Also, looking at the world, it seems to me that while the world was becoming more convenient, but inequality was widening. The filter bubble was creating division among the people, and community connections were weakening by technologies in some cases. So yeah, I thought I have to do some things to change the situation. After that experience, I started a community called Code for Japan. It is network of the people who wants to create solutions to solve social issues. We connect the people and help government work better with an open internet way. The movement is called Civic Tech. Our motto is think together, create together. We don't just complain to the government. We use our hands to make something good with people. Why do people need to think and create together? Because public services are not only formed by government. Before I started Code for Japan, I just thought that the government is like a vending machine. I pay taxes, and the government provides the public services. I didn't have much opportunity of communicating with the government staffs before, but I noticed just complaining about the government is making the situation worse. I thought if citizens and government can collaborate more, we can create better services. I mentioned as Code for Japan is a network of people who are we are the biggest community of the civic tech in Japan. Our Slack workspace has more than 50 to 100 people. There are people has diverse, these people has diverse professions. IT engineers, designers, government staffs, salespeople, planners, students or a retired person, or homemakers. Anybody can start a project and invite people to their project in our community. We are also networking the local groups named Code for something. We call it Brigade. It is very much like an open source community. Code for Japan is not an umbrella organization. Each local community is doing its own projects and sharing knowledge using our network. And Code for Japan is one of governing members of global civic tech relations called Code for All. Through the network, we have been learning case studies from each country. Look at the local community side. Their activity is very diverse. Digital mapping, or they are doing digital mapping, or meeting with the government staffs, or building applications, or having local meetups, organizing hackathons, or ideathons. They share workshop ideas within the network and try new things together if they want. This talk's agenda is how government can build trust with the public by using open source governance. So I would answer to this question, why open source way can build trust with the government and citizens. Do you know this book? Cathedral and Bazaar. This book is essay written in 1997 by Eric Raymond, American software developer and open source software advocate. In this essay, he used the metaphor of the cathedral and the bazaar approach to compare the difference between the top-down and bottom-up approaches. The essay contrasts two different free software development models. The cathedral model is a top-down approach. The bazaar model is a bottom-up approach. I would apply this metaphor to the government systems. Government systems are not open like a cathedral. The government spends a lot of time planning, and citizens can apply their opinions to their plan. And then government choose companies to develop it. And development process takes a long period of time. And after releasing the product, there is no feedback loop. There's no feedback loop to improve software. The result is something that is difficult to use. In the other hand, Civic Tech is like a bazaar approach. It is bottom-up process and frequency updated. Self-disciplined small groups contribute to the product. Often these types of governance is strong to change, especially for the emergency case, like I built CSI Info in 2011. I wouldn't say all of the systems should be bazaar model, but government can learn from bazaar process to improve their governance. Let's look at the current situation. COVID-19 rapidly changed the world state. This list shows the things that have not been promoted well in Japan before COVID-19. We have been using hanko sales in the society, and it was making it difficult to reform paper-based workflows. Since people are bound to the paperwork, people couldn't work remotely. The government had been trying to distribute digital ID cards to the people, but only about 15 population had that card. Each local government has different IT systems, so exchanging data with the national government requires prolonged processes. After the COVID-19 outbreak, people realized how government rely on old-fashioned workflows. All of those things became high-priority issues suddenly, right? So since the government was weak to cover uncertain issues, emergencies make the community stronger. I saw a lot of community-driven projects that happened in Japan. For example, people in Code for Japan network built dashboard for the COVID-19 information, idea gathering services, or making such apps, and making some supporting for the NPO's activities, like that. Let me explain one example. This is a website that Code for Japan has built. This screenshot is an official website of the Tokyo Metropolitan Government for showing the information of the COVID-19 situation. We used open data from the Tokyo Metropolitan Government. This dashboard became very popular as soon as it was released because it was very well designed. Also, there was another reason that makes it popular. You know, we published the source code on the GitHub. Also, we opened, issued, and pull request function publicly. It means anybody can post issues or ideas about the website and send us their improved source code to the repository. After releasing the website, we've got many contributions from the world, literally. We've got 750 issues in the 3 weeks, just 3 weeks, and over 1,000 pull requests from 224 contributors. In total, there are more than 300 contributors. People improved our website dramatically day by day. Even we got a pull request from Audrey Tan, a digital minister of Taiwan government. I remember we got very excited at the time we found this request. Of course, we merged the request in a second. How people contribute actually? For instance, there are 20 issues about accessibility. After we released the website, some of the accessibility experts joined to our repository and discussed how the website could be more readable for weak-eyed people or color-weak people. We changed color schemas and added some additional text information besides of charts by accepting their contributions. The website reached 60 million page views during the half year after the release. The logo of the site is displayed on the back panel of every press conference by the governor of Tokyo Metropolitan Government. Since we released the source code under an open license, the local community or the individual developers forked our source code and rebuilt it as a local version. These images are some of the cover illustrations of the cloned version website. It is cool, right? Yeah, not only engineers, also the designers contributed to each website. In the end, more than 80 communities and governments created the similar dashboard using the codebase. I was amazed how quickly it spread across Japan. I have a theory that explains that the public sector should invest in open source community because the active use of open source software by the public administration will strengthen society's intellectual capital as a whole. Rather than being spent taxes as intellectual property for the particular companies, it becomes an intellectual capital that everyone in society can use, which will lower the cost in the long run, I think. Publishing software source code is similar to building public library. Moreover, give people opportunities to join to improve society. Not only by the company, people can contribute. Even high school and university students also played a big part in developing our website. For the instance, since we released the source code to the GitHub, dozens of people started to write an article about how to contribute, redeploy our our COVID-19 dashboard. The article in the center of the slide was written by the high school student. It was liked more than 1,300 times. Let me explain a couple of other cases. Due to the local restaurant had to close their venue during the COVID-19 situation, they started a delivery. These restaurants started the delivery or takeout services, but the students couldn't know which restaurants are providing such services. Many local community built this kind of application, the takeout search application, for the people who wants to look for the local restaurants having takeout or delivery services. This is another example, dashboard of the information of the bed occupancy rate of the hospitals. There are no centralized data of the beds and the patients. So we had to ask the people to collect the data from the various data sources. So people can contribute by making data, not only building something. Thanks to the large number of students participating in Code for Japan, a new initiative has emerged. Civic Tech Challenge Cup is a competition of the social problem-solving services for students under 22 years old. Code for Japan's interns started this project for students who was not able to go to school and missed summer internship opportunities due to school suspension. 28 teams from 1,005 students participated in this competition. Then 10 finalists presented their services developed under more than 2 months. All the entries were very high level, and the event ended with great success. One of the students started his company, and the service was tested with the municipalities after the event. We are organizing Civic Tech Challenge Cup of this year also. Please share this info if you have under 22 years old friends. Also, we started a new program called the Civic Tech Accelerator program. This is the first accelerator program focused on civic tech in Japan. Next, let me pick up our social technology officer project. The government is not only provider of social services, right? There are NPOs also providing the essential services. So we are supporting non-profit organizations in this project. This project is trying to create a new occupation called Social Technology Officer. The STO, its job descriptions are similar to the CTO of the general companies, but STO needs to know social problems as well as technologies. We match tech people and NPOs by creating opportunities to know, help, and support NPOs. For instance, one of the teams created a chatbot for the NPO that helps low-income families. This NPO was supporting low-income families. The corona epidemic has increased the number of consultations by consultation with them so much. That has become very difficult to deal with. So STO team built a chatbot to make the communication easier for both the families and staffs. The most recent project that we are starting is called DIY Cities. I believe that cities need to be created by citizens, not only a government and IT companies. DIY means do it yourself. We help cities that provide opportunities for the citizens to join their policy making or city planning processes. So for enabling student participation, we will create the students' collaborative toolkit. It is kind of workshop materials. Then the supporters will help the local facilitators. Also, we will provide a platform for student participation. We will organize workshops to collect people and build teams. Then publish playbooks and case studies. Also, we are developing City OS and data catalogs. About participatory policy making, we localized an open-source student engagement tool called Decidim. It was born and used in Barcelona. It provides many functions about the student participatory process, like policy making or participatory budgeting. We launched the website late last year in Kakogawa City to make the smart city policy with the students. During the planning project, we also organized an open source offline workshop with students. I realized this kind of intensive workshop is essential to collect the student voices, not only providing the online services. Offline connection is really, really important. So we put the workshops, we organized the workshops, and we put the workshops result to the Decidim. This kind of offline and online feedback loop is really necessary if you want to create city consensus. This is how Decidim has been used in the first 2 months since we started it. It's worth noting that the participation of teenagers is over, the rate of the participation of teenagers is over 40%. Traditional methods like town meeting in the town hall would not have yielded such a result, I think. We are planning to use Decidim for more widely topics now. Also, we are developing a data exchange platform based on 5Air with Hamamatsu City. 5Air is an open source platform used in EU countries. We are going to build common resource of the city OS with open source. Through this is a huge challenge. I am very, very excited about it. By the way, we are looking for the people to help us with this DIY City OS project, especially for the infrastructure engineers with AWS experience. So if you are interested in, please contact us. Okay, I have a vision of an open source government. Governments are creating services with students and make it open and share with other local governments. The COVID-19 dashboard was a concrete example of the future government. Providing open source governance to make the government more open is the key of people collaboration. Often, I asked this question. Okay, Civic text looks fun, or Civic text is cool. How I can join, or I can start? This is really good question. I would ask to read. First, join our Slack. We have, as I said, we have more than 5,200 members in our Slack. Please join our Slack and say hello and make your introduction. People will react to something. And next is find local code for group. We call it Brigade, and join it. You can find which area has local communities in our website. And also, please join our Social Hack Day event. I will explain later. So this is a kind of opportunity to find the friends. And also join other events. We often run several events to learn the digital transformation of the government, or how to collaborate with the government, or how can collect data, or running workshops. So please join us. And many other ways are existing. So please see this article. Only Japanese, sorry, but there is this note explains other ways to join Civic Tech. My recommendation is a Social Hack Day. It is a monthly hackathon event for the people who is challenging social issues. Unlikely the general hackathon, there is no competition, and you won't be rushed. This is bring your own project types hackathon, an event for the people who are working on some project already to gather, and they can gather their supporters and work together intensively for a day. You can bring your own projects, or you just join and find other project to join. So you don't need to prepare if you don't want to. So everyone can join. Even the non-engineer can join. It does not require very high skill set. You will see that kind of activities are happening. You will see what kind of activities are happening in our community. Next social hack day will be held at the June 26th. Please join us. In an earlier slide, I posed the question, does technology really make people happier? The answer to the question would be that technology makes people happier if we use it correctly, right? Civic Tech is one of the ways to use technologies for making the world a better place by ourselves. Of course, there's another way to do it. So I wish you also commit something for using technology for good. Thank you for giving me this great opportunity. I believe that our responsibility to leave a better future for the next generation. The girl in the right photo is my daughter. I am an engineer, but also a father and a student. I just want to contribute to make the better future. And Civic Tech is not only for the engineers. Anybody can contribute. We should think and create better future together. Let's make the world a better place. That's all from my end. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Hal. Great talk. So we have some questions.
Okay.
One of that is from Atsushi. Thank you, Atsushi. How many foreigners involved in Code for Japan, like localization or internationalization?
Oh, good question. I don't know precisely number, but I think around 10% engineers are from the foreign countries, especially in Taiwan, because we have a friend community called GovZero in Taiwan, and they are very, very actively working. And sometimes we had a joint hackathon event. Oh, I should say about the. I should share this about this hackathon about in our presentation, but it is called the Facing the Ocean event. We held the event at Okinawa or Tainan and joined together and make some cool make hacking tools and share the social programs during each countries. That was really fun. So that we have Taiwanese friends very much.
Oh, great! So keep collaboration with Taiwan. I want. And I have a question. I feel that more and more people are using technology and open source by your activity. However, I think there are some misunderstandings about open source in Japan. I think that your COVID-19 dashboard should be more widespread in local government, not only Tokyo, but also many local government. Right. What can we or I do to help people understand open source and use it more?
Wow, great question. Yeah, open source idea is a little bit difficult to understand because most of people think it is just like a free thing. Free means free of beer, but actually the this is not only the not only that someone hadn't don't need to pay money. It is the free is more wide concept. So free kind of the free speech or some meaning. So we should explain about the result from the open source. So I often explain the people that if you use open source software, you are not locked in particular vendors, right? And maybe the several governments share their systems. The cost would be lower than making it each separately, right? So I think it's good to explain the result for the people who you are talking to. What you will earn from open source. So that is, I think, really important.
Oh, I see. Thanks. Oh, we have one more question. Yes. Who will be started each project? Oh, you have many projects.
I didn't start everything, right? Obviously. Many projects happened by individuals, not only from the Code for core members. Actually, the COVID-19 website started from the government, because the Tokyo Metropolitan Government asked us to build that. So that is a special case. But the case I mentioned in the presentation about the takeout services, it was started by the non-tech person living in the Nagareyama city. The just ordinary citizens wanted to create that application, and someone helped to how to use the non-coding tools. So C developed it by herself and asked the communities to collect the data and improve it. So that's started by the one ordinary student.
Interesting. Oh, great. Oh, so, new project will started more non-coding person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Often that's because often the students themselves know the programs very well. It's good to build the solution by him or her. So engineers know very well about the technology, but we don't know about the actual problems and issues, what they have a problem. So our motto is built with people, not for. Just helping them is not completely true. So making something together, we can understand each other, and they can understand how to utilize the technologies. That collaboration makes the society more stronger.
Thanks. Great. Oh, we have one more question. From Taro. Some people which does not have technology or skill think that they cannot join this activity. Before joining, what does they do that?
Yeah, maybe this question is asking how to join a project before having the skill set, right? So yeah, often such low skills people are joining communities because they have something to solve and ask help to, and they want to find friends with to attack the same problem. So, and just most easiest way is just joining and make a self introduction and put the issues you want to solve. If you are caring about the kind of the how to say kind of the government systems, you want to say something about the problems, or you want to save some poverties, and you just join and say I'm interested in to helping changing the for example the world warming problem, and other people will take you to the right spot and work together, and gradually and you can get some tasks or that you can do. Just maybe that tasks are changing the design or collecting some information from the internet or making a database or some other things. I believe anyone can do something. So just joining and find the opportunity to contribute, I think it is enough. You don't need to prepare something before joining.
Thanks. Work together and creative with is very important.
Yeah,
and you hold ideas on. So maybe someone who has an issue or idea can join your activity, right?
Right. No. Ideathon is a very good way to join, and it is just a fun, and you don't need to be required skills. Yeah, I think this month in Hamamatsu, we will organize a hackathon event of the DIY city. So if you are interested in, please join us. It is, I think it is online.
When?
Not decided, but I think later this month.
Yeah. Please tweet this later. Yeah. Okay. That's all question.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. This is time up. Thank you, Hal.